Married at First Sight Season 14, Episode 11. Michael and Jasmina, and I'm doing separate videos for each couple. So at the end of the video, you can click on the link and go right to the next video. But this is for Michael and Jasmina. But let me tell you, is this a fresh start for Michael and Jasmina? Is the ice princess thawing out? Well, she might be thawing out, but you know what? It's a little bit too late because Michael ain't interested in Jasmina no more. I hate to tell y'all. I know y'all thought that Jasmina was in the driver's seat, but this episode clearly let me know, and the previews for next week let me know that Michael ain't interested in Jasmina. He might be trying to do this little last-ditch effort, but he's pretty much made up his mind that this ain't the woman for him. And it kind of explains why Jasmina is always crying on the after party. You know, she's been on the after party several times, and every time she starts talking about Michael, she tears up and she starts crying. She talks about how he's a great man. This episode, when she was talking about how he recreated the wedding, how wonderful and how beautiful it was, you know, she seems like she's filled with a lot of regret. And I bet you it probably hit her like a ton of bricks after this show was over, because I don't think they're going to say yes on decision day. I really don't think so. And in fact, it's going to be interesting when we get there. It might be a split decision. Jasmina might be the one that says yes, and Michael might be the one that says no. I'm going to wait till I get there, but I wouldn't be surprised. Jasmina really sabotaged this relationship. She really went hard so fast in the beginning with her nastiness, her hypocriticalness, her negativity, that she turned Michael all the way off. And now that Jasmina is starting to feel a little bit more comfortable and she's coming out her shell, now she's trying to rev Michael back up. But here's the problem. She did so much damage in the beginning to push Michael away that it might just be a little bit too late, too much too late. Like I've been telling you, the three people who are alike on this show, not counting Alyssa, but it's Jasmina, Lindsay, and Olajuwon. And they operate from a place of fear. When they're fearful and they're scared or they're uncomfortable, what they do is they attack. I told you last couple of videos that anytime anyone starts trying to peel back the layers on Jasmina or get to a place to her where she's scared or she feels vulnerable or brings up, you know, not good feelings, she lashes out and she attacks. And she was so afraid in this process. She was afraid of Michael because we found out she don't really have that much relationship experience. She was probably afraid of a grown man laying next to a grown man all the time. But she was awfully afraid, and her jitters showed. And what she did was she attacked Michael the whole first half of this whole season. And now all of a sudden she's starting to thaw out, and she's trying to realize that he's not the boogeyman. And now she wants Michael to step up. So if you listen to her, she says a lot of things like, well, I don't even know if Michael likes me like that. You hear her saying little things, which is signaling to people that it's just not her. It's also Michael. Michael went to his shell. I told you in the beginning when she was criticizing Michael and she wanted Michael to open up and be vulnerable and all this stuff. I said, you running him deep 10 feet underground. And that's what she did. And now that she's thawed out, she wants him to come out and play. I think it's a little bit too late. In the previews for next week, we hear Michael sitting down with his sister saying, it's going to take a lot for him to say yes on the decision day. He's already announcing what his intentions are. So he might be trying here just as a last-ditch effort, but Michael's checked out. You know, we're hearing about all the other things that Michael was doing in the background. He was talking about he changed his work schedule so that he could accommodate taking Finney out and all these other things he did for the dog. But we don't see Jasmina do anything. We ain't even seen Jasmina cook Michael a meal. But I know he's happy. At least they ain't arguing no more. At least she's not running around calling him aggressive. So Jasmina must have talked to somebody, maybe somebody calmed her down or whatever the case may be. And so now she's coming back to that Jasmina we saw in the beginning. And it was really good to see her. It reminded me of what I liked about Jasmina in the beginning. But this having no relationship experience, it really showed. She really sabotaged this, you guys. They really could have been a good couple. If Jasmina didn't have the problems she had, I'm telling you, this couple probably could have worked out together. You know, Michael says how beautiful she is. When she walks in the room, she commands attention. He believes that she has a beautiful smile. He laid it out. He laid out the rose petals. He recreated the wedding. It was really sweet and really nice what Michael did. He really went all out for her. If you notice on all these anniversaries, all the temperamental people had to have their mates plan the anniversary dinners, because those people had to be poured into, because really they're really the most insecure of the couple. So for instance, Jasmina is the most insecure, so Michael had to plan everything. Olajuwon and Katina, Olajuwon's the most insecure, so Katina had to plan everything. Lindsay and Mark, Lindsay's actually the most insecure, and Mark had to play everything. So watch my other videos because I'm going to talk about it there too. But it kind of played out the same for each of the different couples. I liked how they rewrote our vows, and Jasmina was back to her joking self again. She was laughing and she was smiling. Remind me of wedding day before she got all scared and knotted up. Jasmina started talking about she hates that they waste the first 4 weeks. But you know what? It wasn't all Michael, Jasmina. I know Michael came to a revelation, and what he was saying was that he was trying to pour into Jasmina a certain kind of way, but it wasn't what he wanted. And that is something that a lot of people mess up. They don't speak to the person in their love language. And if Jasmina had been a better communicator, but you know what? She thinks she's a good communicator, but she's not. Maybe she would have been able to help Michael along a little sooner, but Michael didn't have any ill intent. The problem was that Jasmina has a deficit in her communication. He even talks about at one time he felt he was doing it out of obligation, because after Jasmina started acting a fool, Michael was like, he didn't really want to do nothing anymore. So he was just doing stuff just to be doing it. He's being honest. Michael checked out very early on after Jasmina walked to him nasty. And what Jasmina thought was she was just going to be able to be nasty and Michael wasn't going to have any reaction to it. Well, she bet wrong. And Michael said he started to recognize, well, Jasmina is still fighting. Jasmina still wants it, because I think Jasmina started to thaw out. She started to feel a little more comfortable and a lot less scared. And that allowed her to open up just a little bit more. And that now Michael said, okay, well, now maybe we can try to get back on track. But I don't know. I don't think he really sees a future with Jasmina anymore. And because of that, I don't think Jasmina sees a future with him. It's not an attraction problem. I know a lot of people say that, but it's not that. It's an emotional problem. It's an emotional connection. And a lot of the reason why the emotional connection was never formed and the bond was never made was because of fear. It has nothing to do with the lust side of it, because I think Jasmina would have been very attracted to Michael, and he, of course, would have been attracted to her. But the emotional barriers that Jasmina put up in the beginning, that's what prevented them from bonding emotionally, and thus the physical part never came. It was so interesting. At one point when they were about to go to this couples dinner, where all the fiasco happened with Olajuwon and Katina, even Jasmina says, oh, I hope all the couples are in a good place and it's not going to be no drama. See right there, that's even different, because if you remember when they first got to their honeymoon, Michael had said to Jasmina, well, there could be some drama. And remember how Jasmina jumped all over him for that, saying, why you negative? Why you negative? Now, it's so interesting. And here is Jasmina later in the process saying the same thing. She hoping there's not going to be any drama. That's what I'm talking about. Jasmina's insecurity and also her inexperience in relationships really sabotage this relationship. I think if these two have more time, maybe if they had another 2-3 months, they probably could get back on track. But I just don't think they have enough time before decision day. Even in this episode, Jasmina said, well, we all have communication problems that we need to work on. What? You mean Jasmina is taking accountability for something? She's actually taking a look in the mirror. She used the word we instead of you. Let me tell you, that was a breakthrough. We have never heard Jasmina use that type of language. That's why I know if she had a little bit more time, maybe she could get there. This couple, it sure would be nice if they did say yes on decision day and then use that time to work on their marriage. I don't know if it'll happen, but that would be nice, because I think that these two could have made it. I really do think they could have made it. But there's just no romantic chemistry between these two, and I think it was just ruined early on, and I think it was just too hard for them to recover. It was good to see them happy again, but it was also sad because it reminded me of what really could have been. But that's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.